What's up guys, so today we are going to be talking about vlogging with the GoPro. Now I vlog a lot on this channel, and when I do vlog I use my GoPro. Now this tutorial thing will be based on all GoPros. I use the Hero 5, but it's not just for the Hero 5, it's for any GoPro you have, they'll all be fine. But today I'm basically just going to be telling you what I use in my vlog when I use a GoPro. Now GoPros aren't the best vlogging cameras, they're not really made for vlogging, but if you're like me and you have a GoPro and you don't have anything else to vlog with, then they do make a good camera, but you just need to know what settings to use to vlog with and how you can make them good for vlogging. Let's start off for video settings and frame rates for the GoPro vlogging. Now for vlogging I use 1080p Full HD. Now that is completely fine, you don't need to use a higher frame rate than that because that is still Full HD, it's really good quality and it doesn't take up too much space on the computer, so that is what I use for all vlogging. I always use 1080p, and then I also use it at 30 frames a second. Now that is quite a low frame rate, but you don't need a high frame rate for vlogging. You only really need high frame rates like 60 frames a second or 120 for slow motion and stuff like that. So when I'm vlogging and I don't need slow motion, I use 30 frames a second because it doesn't take up that much storage and I'm not going to need to slow it down, so it's completely fine for me. If however you were wanting to do something in slow motion, then always just go up to 60 frames a second or 120 frames a second just for that slow motion bit. That obviously will take up more storage on your computer. Okay, and now it's the angle, what angle I use the GoPro on. So obviously when I'm holding the GoPro out in front of you like that, it's what angle do you want the GoPro on. Now the GoPro has a few angles. You could either have narrow, medium, wide, super view or linear. Now the only two I would use is linear and wide. Super view is just too far out, it's got too much in the frame, and narrow and medium just have too much of you in the frame. It's just too zoomed in on your face, which I don't like personally. And then for me, I mostly use the wide setting. I think that's a really good setting when you're holding your GoPro out like that. It gets a lot in and it's just my personal favorite setting for this. But then another good one is linear. Now for me, I don't really use linear because it's just a tiny bit too zoomed in on my face. It's still really good for vlogging and you can use it fine. Again, with like the angles of the GoPro, it's completely up to you and it's completely down to personal preference what angle you choose. Okay, now it's like, what do I put it on? Do I just hold it in my hand or do I put it on a pole or something? Now, anything is fine. I used to hold it in my hand just like that. That worked completely fine, but it's just a bit shaky when you're walking or whatever. So I put it on one or two poles. The pole I use the most is this one. It's literally just like a hand pole. I don't really know what you call it. But yeah, I just use this one to hold out there. You can easily turn it around and film the other way, and then you can turn it back to yourself really easily. It makes the footage a lot smoother. This is what I use the most just because it's good. But then the other thing most vloggers on YouTube do use is this. This is the Gorilla Pod. Now you can get it for all cameras, but obviously because we're using GoPros, I've got one for GoPro. Now I would use this because this is good. You can hold it like that. You can adjust the angle so you can hold it out in front of you like that. And also if you wanted to get a time lapse or something, you can just put it out like that as a tripod. Okay, and lastly, it's wind noise. Now, wind noise while vlogging on a GoPro is a massive problem. That was my massive downside with the GoPro. Microphones aren't great and it just picks up all the wind. You just couldn't vlog anywhere with it, which is a massive problem. So to cure the wind noise, I would definitely get one of these. This is called a wind slayer. Now, I'm not going to explain too much into this if you want to know what it is because I've done a whole other video on this, so the link to that will be in the description. But you basically just put this over the top of the GoPro and it acts kind of like a microphone windshield, and it basically just cancels out all wind. So if you do want to see a proper video on this, then the link to this will be in the description. Okay, so that is it for today, guys. I do hope this was helpful to you and you enjoyed this video. If I left anything out, then feel free to drop a comment down below telling me what I left out or what your personal favourite settings are for the GoPro vlogging. Drop that down in the comments below. And also don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up as well if you did enjoy it and it was helpful to you. And subscribe if you are new and haven't subscribed already. But yeah, that was today's video. I do hope you guys enjoyed and I will see you in the next video.